Welcome to another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K Sapp. Man, we got a little developing story out of Cleveland. Tony Grossi of the Daily Grossi, him and Big Chops was on their podcast today, and they had some choice words to say about what Shedeur said when he was interviewed by his locker on his comments about him being ready. He wants to play now. And then talking about the quarterback play around the NFL. But we're going to unpack all that here next here on the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Well, guys, man, I'm here to tell you, man, Tony Grossi of the Daily Grossi is back at it again. Every chance he can get to slander or hate on Shedeur Sanders, he's going to do it. Now, we all know I did a video earlier today about Shedeur Sanders talking about he was ready and talking about the quarterback play that has been displayed around the NFL. And he says he think he could do better than some of the quarterbacks that are playing right now. And a lot of people are talking about it. Actually, that's made headline news. A lot of media outlets are covering it. And what happened was Tony Grossi and Big Chops on the Daily Grossi got wind of it, and they had to talk about it. And Tony Grossi basically verbally attacked Shedeur Sanders for his comments. And basically what Tony Grossi was saying is, you need to put something on film because I can't take you serious. And I can't believe the words that Tony Grossi uttered. Now, Shedeur Sanders was interviewed by his locker today after practice. And it was by one of Tony Grossi and Big Chop's partners. And he was answering the questions that was asked of him. And he responded with some things that he would like to say, talking about, he was ready. And then talking about the quarterback play that was being displayed around the NFL. We're going to listen to what Shedeur Sanders had to say. And then we're going to listen to what Tony Grossi had to say on Shedeur's comments. But before we get off into that, we partnered up with Underdog Fantasy, and this is a word from our sponsor. Underdog Fantasy is the best way to play fantasy sports. Let me tell you about the easiest way to get in on some WNBA and NBA action. Find your player, pick higher or lower, win you some extra cash. Pick between 2 to 5 players to fill out your pick'em entry, get every pick right, and win some serious cash. Use my promo code SBD23 and receive up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now that it's football time, follow Simply Ball Dropping as I share my picks. Like I said, pick your player, choose your amount, win money. Make picks, win cash. Thank you, Underdog Fantasy, for the partnership with us. And thank you for using promo code SBD23 on Underdog Fantasy. Well, guys, with that being said, let's get right off into it. Let's take a listen to what Shedeur Sanders had to say, and we're going to follow up by what Tony Grossi and Big Chops had to say. Y'all take a listen.
Locked in, standing to everything, and remaining focused on the main thing.
Do you feel like you're kind of close to getting to where you want to be in terms of, getting a chance to play this game?
I don't think playing or not playing, is in my hands. I think based on the situation, it's if things happen, things pan out where I play, then I'll be out there and I'll be ready to play. So I'm ready to play right now. I'm my place to answer. That's nothing I can't answer, but I know for sure I'm not. I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that.
You heard what he had to spoke to the media.
Now listen to this.
Media. He spoke to
our Justin Cooper.
Yes, our teammate Justin Cooper today in the locker room, I believe, before practice. Two quotes that I wanted to read for you and then get your reaction. The first one was just he was asked about Deion's comments about playing and get ready, and Shedeur said, "I'm ready to play right now." So that's like his current mindset. And then he said, Tony, this is the quote kind of making the rounds. "I know if you see the quarterback play in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that." When you hear that, what's your reaction?
But put something on film for us to believe. I mean, my lasting image of Shedeur was, of course, was that Rams game, which I didn't look anywhere near ready at that game. Sure, it was a preseason game, but that's when you should look ready if you've got a game. Listen, I first of all, I'll say this about Shedeur. His confidence is part of his strength. Okay, yeah. So it's good to hear him speaking confidently. Okay. The other thing is he never met a camera he didn't like. And it just seems like being out of the limelight right now as QB3 on a Cleveland Browns team struggling to score points, he's really missing the viral moments. He'll get one now.
Well, my question here, and look, Shedeur's clearly confident. He believes in himself. But bringing up other quarterback play around the league, Tony, people are just going to draw that's probably going to be on First Take tomorrow. I'm just being honest. And people are going to draw the connection. Well, are you talking about Joe Flacco, who has struggled through 3 games? We've all acknowledged that. What's Flacco going to react if I don't know if he's going to see it. He doesn't have social media, really.
Well, listen, I think Shedeur's teammates knows what he's all about. I really do. I think they would chuckle about it. First of all, I love the fact that Shedeur is always available at his locker. Okay. Yeah. He is always there. And I don't begrudge anyone for anything they say. That we're in the quote business. He knows that as more than anyone. But it gets him back on First Take and other shows, right? And that's what we'll probably say. I laugh about it because I don't take him too seriously anymore. After that Rams game, I need evidence that he could play.
Now, you heard what this clown Tony Grossi had to say, man. Unbelievable what he said about, I don't take him serious no more after I saw him in that Rams game. See, you keep on talking about this Rams game. That's why Shedeur ran up on you after the Carolina game when he performed real well and ran up to you and told you, why come you don't never have nothing good to say about me? Why you always hating on me? You don't want to talk about his performance in that Carolina game where he played lights out. All you want to do is talk about that one performance against the Rams. And you know that was a setup for failure. And you know that. And you keened in on that. Also, you said that he's looking for the limelight again because he's not in the spotlight as a quarterback 3. You taking shots, you taking digs, and then y'all insinuating that he's talking about Joe Flacco. And if he was talking about Joe Flacco, y'all got to wear it. But he was talking about majority of the quarterbacks in the NFL. I know it's week 3, but some of these quarterbacks are underperforming. And that's what he was talking about. And he said he can go out there and do just as good as the quarterbacks that are performing bad. And you verbally attacking him for his comments. See, that's why everybody talks about you, Tony Grossi, because you always find a way to hate on Shedeur Sanders. It's always something that you got to say and find out and dig down and, fire shots at Shedeur was anything that you could find. You are really taking shots at him. You talking about you can't take this man seriously because you saw him perform against the Rams and you said he wasn't ready, but you didn't say that after game 1 preseason in Carolina. See, you don't want to talk about that. You want to talk about that one game. Talk about the 3 stinkers that Joe Flacco has had in the first 3 games of the season. Talk about that. But you want to talk about one preseason game with Shedeur Sanders against the Rams. Then you talk about you can't take him serious. Then you talking about he wants to have a viral moment. He wants to be heard. He wants to be seen. How you just gonna continue to hate, obviously, on Shedeur Sanders? It's obvious now, Tony Grossi, that you don't like Shedeur Sanders, man. It's obvious, man. So just come out and say you don't like Shedeur Sanders, and everybody will be fine with that. Then we won't have to clown you every time you say some clown stuff towards Shedeur Sanders. It's obvious that you don't like him, Tony Grossi. Just come on camera and say, I do not like Shedeur Sanders. You don't have to take shots. The comments that Shedeur said, there was nothing wrong with what Shedeur said when he was talking about he was ready and he's ready to play right now. And watching the quarterbacks around the NFL right now, he think he can go out there and do just as good as some of these quarterbacks are doing right now. And then you said his confidence. You like his confidence. Nah, we ain't going to let you have that. You can't have it both ways. You can't give him props in one sentence and then follow up and then tear him right back down. We're not going to let you do that, Tony Grossi. We're not going to let you do that. I see everybody in the comments section, #salute. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, turn your post notifications on so you know every time Simply Ball drops another hot banger. Oh yeah, just in case I forgot. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Might not be for you, but it might be for them. And this is going to wrap up another episode of the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. I'm your host and the man behind the mic, K-Sap. We're going to catch you on the next one. Deuces.
Thanks for listening to the Simply Ball Dropping Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, like, and share on all major platforms.
That's all, folks.